Well, haven't been on this channel in a long time. I guess we can say it's story time. um, I gotta come up with a story real quick to complete this task. For those who don't know, who just stumbled on this channel. This channel is supposed to be me creating stories, me reading them to you guys. Other stuff got in the way. I couldn't get to it till now when I'm being forced to just to try and find clues for my main channel. So here we go. Once upon a time, in a land far, 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 far away, on a distant island, was this castle. They say it's the strongest castle in the world, guarded by several knights, as well as an awesome king, who, this king, would always go down and meet the people he ruled over. He actually helped them out. When someone fell near him and he broke his ankle, he helped stand them up and then took them into their medical wing of their castle. They also had a great wizard who performed a lot of good spells. He made a lot of defensives. Till one day, a great evil behold in this kingdom, in this castle. All the knights, the wizard, and the king fell ill by this evil. The king, in his last-ditch effort, attached a letter to a pigeon and sent it off. But within the letter was also a spell from the great wizard. The pigeon flew and accidentally dropped the letter on a farm in a distant land. The farmer read the letter. He didn't think anything of it. But the farmer gave the letter to his, 20-year-old son. The son picked up the quest to find to cure the kingdom. So, in the letter, it asked for help from anyone. So it also said in that letter, he has to find the trident, the sword, the big giant hammer, a key, and a shield. So, the farmer's son took on this quest to find these objects. The first one he found was a sword. He had to outsmart a Cyclops to get the sword. The shield was tricky. He had to battle Still thinking. A golem. Monstrous, tall, 50 feet in the air. He had to try to battle him. She succeeded with the sword. He finally got the shield. The second one was the hammer. The third one was the hammer. He found it in a distant cave where he had to fight off the great snake beast. It was the head of a snake, slithered like a snake, but a body of a lion. Terrible creature. His venom lashed out on him. If it wasn't for the shield he got earlier, he bounced it back. He eventually defeated this creature, this beast. When he tried to lift up the hammer, he could not. For the hammer was too heavy for the farmer's son. So he went out and found the strongest person around. So happens to be right in the village near the cave. The strongest man he recruited. They went back into the cave and he lifted the hammer. So, next was the key. So, that will be B2 continued. I'm interrupting the story halfway through just to give you a quick announcement. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if you haven't noticed, I gotta do all these tasks. So, please go check out my main channel, Red Knight Nation. Link will be down below. And let's get back to the story. So, we're back. Our heroes, the farmer's son and the strongest man, got the sword, the shield, and the hammer. Their next task was the key. This key was buried in another castle, in the dungeons of this castle. And for once, they didn't have to battle a beast or a creature. They had to solve a riddle to get the key, and then go through a maze, which was kind of an odd riddle, because it's an Egyptian riddle. It's kind of a weird Egyptian or olden time riddle. So the riddle stated when they got there, just one guard was standing guard. He asked them, what has 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs at noon, and 3 legs in the evening? Both of them could not figure it out. It was odd to them. What type of creature would have this? So they went into another town to find the smartest person around. They found the smartest. They brought him back. The guard repeated the same riddle, the same question. The smartest person answered, human. Because as babies, we crawl. Middle part of our lives, we're walking on 2 legs. Then, closer to the end of our lives, most of us are walking with 3, with a cane. The answer was correct. The guard moved away, and they entered the maze. It took them several days through the maze. They finally found the key. They came back out. The guard congratulated them. The 3 of them went on their way to complete this task. Since they now have the sword, the shield, the giant hammer, the key, all that was left was a trident. So, trident was in the ocean. They had to somehow build a submarine, go down in the ocean. But first, they also had to find a good swimmer. Well, lucky for them, there's a guy that owned a submarine that was the best swimmer around. So, he also had someone with him when they met. This person helped the swimmer out with everything, the mechanic-wise of the great submarine that they'll have to enter. So the 5 of them entered the submarine. They went down to the deep. And they would have to face the Leviathan and the Kraken all at once, using the weapons they had with them. They battled. The swimmer dashed around, swam around these 2 great beasts, picked up the trident, and defeated the 2 beasts of the water. So the rest of the crew, everyone made it back to the submarine. They start heading to the island. After several days, they made it to the island. It's at this time a year since the great darkness fell. They walked to the kingdom, entered it. They went to the great hall where the king was still trying to sit on his throne. They presented him with the weapons. And to their knowledge, 5 stone slabs, with slots in it, rose up in the middle of the castle, middle of the throne room. The farmer placed a sword into one of the slabs. Then the mechanic placed a shield. The strong man placed a hammer. The wisest, the smartest, placed the key and turned it. And the best swimmer placed a trident. And the land was cleared. A great earthquake shook. Everyone that was sick recovered in an instant. The king thanked these 5 people, on the greatest adventure that they ever did and to save their kingdom. So he made a great feast, knighted them all. But the farmer's son, he had to go home. Because the great illness before the great illness that before the kingdom went over to his land as well. So they got the cure from the best mages in the kingdom. And they went off to cure the rest of the world, the other kingdoms. And they all lived, they finally cured it all, and they all lived good lives. Hope you guys like that story. That was like, whoo, right on a fly. So with that, I guess I'll say, see you guys soon. Back over on Red Knight Nation.